They might be without a victory, but they're not without hope. Perth continue to threaten to win. Townsville have had the bye and should be fresh for the contest as they chase a spot in the semis. Welcome everyone, we're at the Perry Lake Stadium in Perth for what is a pressure match for both teams. We know that Perth are struggling a little, even more so this weekend as Melissa McClure prepares to go under the knife. She'll sit out the rest of the season. Townsville, well, if they're to make the top four, they need a run of good results. They're sixth at the moment. They last met some 5 weeks ago. Townsville got the W in a match we televised here. 69-53 in the end, but Perth were very competitive for 3 quarters. And last weekend, Perth gave the Canberra Capitals a heck of a fright. Tully Bevilacqua would probably prefer to be out there, but Tully, how about Perth this weekend? Can they go one better?
Well, they just might. As you said, they took Canberra to the wire the week before that. They took Bulleen to the wire. So, you know, they're gaining momentum and they could possibly do it tonight.
Townsville, though, have some quality players. Natalie Porter, Claudia Brassard, Gina Stevens. They're going to make it tough for them.
They certainly are. And you add in Jodie Datson there and you've got a formidable lineup. They are a much more experienced team than the Lynx, and without captain Melissa McClure, it's going to be much harder for Perth.
Well, can Townsville sweep the series against Perth, or will this be the weekend for the Lynx? We spoke to a couple of the key players.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to tonight's game. Last week was close, but we still didn't get over the line, and being Mel's 200th, we all thought that, you know, we'd give it our best shot, which we did, and Canberra were just too experienced in the end.
Yeah, it's definitely a danger game. They've gone very close to having that win for the last couple of weeks. Obviously, we don't want to be the team that's the first to lose to them this season. We'll go out there, we're going to look at our running game, push the ball up the floor. Obviously, with McClure out, that takes defence away from them, gives us a little bit more of a chance for our big girls to attack. So we'll be looking to take advantage both inside and out.
Well, Perth are in the yellow and black, and they've got a big assignment to try and stop Townsville getting the points here. But I suppose the deeper the season goes, the longer they go without a win, the closer they are to their first. And Stevens, sneaky little offload to Brassard, and finds the open Heritage.
Well, let's just hope that that doesn't continue for the Perth Lynx, because, you know, they've got a tough assignment tonight. Obviously, without Melissa McClure, they have limited experience out on the court.
And being such a dominant figure on the boards for them as they get their first three through Kerry Hughes, and Tully Bevilacqua nearly gets out of the chair.
Well, let's hope we see some great shooting performances tonight.
And a nice take inside by Tegan Walker. They give it straight back, and Datson is off to the rack and is fouled by Natalie Love. But in what way will Melissa McClure's absence change the way Perth have to attack this game?
Well, she's, you know, obviously she's played 200 games, and she's just there for when, you know, the team goes a little bit out of their structure, just to pull them all together, because I don't know in this group right now if there's anyone that has been able to do that in her absence before. So Tegan Walker, who's played just a handful of games over 50, is probably the most experienced out there.
Jodie Datson averaging 14.7 points per game and 3 assists. And she got 13 points against Perth when they met that last time here on the 14th of November.
That's right. She's having, the last couple of seasons, she's been playing some fantastic basketball, and it's resulted in her being selected, obviously, in the Opal squad.
Marsh, and happy to get the second effort. And Hughes, that has a good look. And stripped of the ball was Walker on the floor. And Townsville are off.
You know, even though Tegan Walker didn't come up with that ball, it's just great to see people putting their bodies on the floor, you know, just determined to try and get it.
Hughes makes a way around Stevens. Looking for an option. Walker's there. A modest crowd in on a mild summer evening in Perth as we near Christmas. So people's pockets are a little emptier than usual as the Christmas spending starts to happen. Stevens just didn't dribble it as she might have liked.
Yes.
Got to settle it down.
No, that was a bad pass in by Kerry Hughes. We had a mismatch then with Natalie Love, with Gina Stevens defending her. So, you know, we really should have got more out of that matchup. But great job to Gina Stevens for the steal.
Hughes works it back up the court for Perth Lynx. The mood of the team is still pretty strong, despite where they are in the season.
Sure, I mean, obviously, a team can go either way. They can just, you know, drop the bundle and start playing as individuals. But, you know, I give this team a lot of respect because they've just hung in there. And the team spirit, when you come to training sessions, you know, there's a lot of talk going on and it's still good to see. So they're going to fight it out to the end.
Matthews, trapped a little by Brassard. 5-3 in the early going. And Love, has she got the rebound? She has. And Walker cleans up. Love took it strongly away from Brassard and will finish it off.
Great job. I mean, that was a tough pass there for Nat Love to, you know, to collect in there. So, you know, it was just great on her part. And let's hope, you know, she can put a few more of those balls into the basket tonight for the sake of the Lynx.
Well, she becomes a bit more of the go-to player, doesn't she, with her size, as Porter puts one up and comes away with nothing.
Definitely. Perth should look to get the ball into her more. She's very, very strong, and she's been doing the job for them in the last couple of weeks.
Matthews to Hughes. Walker weaves away past the couple, goes to the rack, and it just won't drop for her, but Matthews, the spilled ball. Walker again, takes on Porter, and it'll be a Townsville ball.
Yes, great hands there by Natalie Porter. Very clean. Great to see the umpires putting the whistle away there.
Porter with a distinctive yellow and red socks. Brassard. Stevens for the three. And Gatson finds herself with the rebound. And another open look for Stevens. And Love, not too much trouble with that one.
Well, I just have to say, I hope Perth don't really give Gina too many more of those open shots. She has missed the first couple, but it just takes one of those to go down and, you know, she can get on a roll.
Hughes, they just need to look after the ball a little more cleverly, Perth. They're giving up a few loose turnovers. Heritage. 4 minutes gone and just 5 apiece. And Wayward shooting early.
You can see that Perth are playing a match-up zone here. And whoa, what another great shot by Heritage. You know, that's 2 from 2 now. Perth will have to be aware of her out on the floor.
And 8-5. 2 from 2, as you say, from out there. Walker goes to work on Stevens and gets the 2.
Yes, great drive there. One of the things that you are going to give away in a match-up zone is an outside shot. So Perth really do have to hope that, you know, Townsville don't get their eye in.
And leaving the game for the moment, Kerry Hughes. And Narelle Henry in 11 joins the game.
Yes, Kerry Hughes might still be suffering from a sprained ankle that she received early on in the week. So let's hope that's all okay for her, and we'll see her out on the court again soon.
Brassard in the paint had a shot partially blocked and no chance to go. So Henry on an 11, spent a few years in North Carolina at college and plans to go back to the States at the end of this season, and so she feels quite strange being back in Perth, but it's good that she's here as Matthews. 2 points, just had a foot on the line.
That's just great penetration by Melissa Marsh to set that shot up. She drew the help defence, dished it out, and it was just a great job. But as we see, a great job by Townsville to come back at them with 2 points.
Yeah, and lovely bounce pass in from Stevens to Brassard. And they've got 4 really strong players and a pretty good bench. Look at Datson, Brassard, Porter and Stevens, and then they can call on Annika Kerr and Heritage, although they're now without Lauren King, who's out with an injury. In fact, will miss the rest of the season, I believe. And that's a nasty blow to their chances for the season, but there's still, you know, a shot at making the 4 if they can get a good run home.
Well, that's right. I mean, it's always unpleasant to lose a player, but, you know, as you say, they have got a strong lineup with Datson, Stevens and Porter, so, you know, they can still give it a good shot they put everything together on the night.
Perth in front now after that 2 from Casey Milivojevic, who we sometimes might just refer to as Milo.
That sounds good to me.
Stevens for a couple, and it's just running a little cold for her. She's 0-3.
Great offensive rebound then by Porter. Gina has probably got one of the nicest shots that I've ever seen in basketball. So it's very pretty to watch.
Love, Marsh. Heritage defending well. Henry, that is a huge 3 from out there. It goes! Oh, she was a metre beyond the arc, and Narelle Henry helps herself to 3, and they're back in front at 14-12 as we go to the first time out, and Perth got their noses in front. A good confident start from the home side. Well, Melissa Marsh is very pleased that her dad, Jeff, is here, former Test cricketer and coach of Zimbabwe, and he's got family and in-laws here. Is that young Mitchell, isn't it, Tully?
Yes, little Mitchell. He's always a regular here at the games.
Oh, that's great. And Jeff, big supporter of Melissa. I remember one game he was here last season, and Melissa let rip from half court near the buzzer and drained an enormous 3 to everyone's delight, including Dad's.
Yes, those sorts of shots always tend to get a great response from the crowd. That's all part of the game. That's great.
It's nice if you can do it in front of Dad.
That's right. I'm sure his presence here inspired her.
Oh, Heritage, a big smile as that one dropped. It's almost a Hail Mary shot that managed to find the target, and draws the medal at 14 all. A minute 40 out from the break. Hughes. Just a little untidy from Carly Boynich. The ball was there to be taken, and Townsville hands stopped her. And Hughes is off. She's got Porter to deal with. Can she work around her? No, she's going to wait for some help.
Probably a wise decision. A little bit of a height difference there, but we got the trailer play anyway, so no, that was probably a heads-up play by Kerry to pull that out, wait for the trailer to come, and we got the knock down the short jumper.
And the trailer was Boyanich. Datson for 2 only. She had her foot over the line. Porter back out to Heritage. Datson again drives in this time, kicks it out to Porter, and they are just cold at the moment. Quick outlet from Love to Hughes.
And you'll see that Perth will stay in this matchup zone until Townsville will start hitting some of those shots. But at the moment, it's a great defensive set by Perth.
Love, and was fouled by Annika Kerr. She thought it was a little bit of a mismatch there, and Love would have fancied a chance of working away to the rack.
Yes, well, Perth, as I said before, Perth really need to use Natalie Love. I think she's got a huge advantage down there on the low block. And even when she gets the ball, you see teams throwing 2 or 3 players at her, and she will find the open player. You just need to get her the ball and let her work from there. And the big girl can shoot foul shots. Make your foul shots and you get subbed out.
Free throw average of 71% for Natalie Love this season. In fact, the team foul shooting is exactly the same, 74%.
Probably a little bit under to where you'd like it. Coaches normally like your free throw shooting percentage to be around the 80% mark. As Porter hits her first shot, is this an ominous sign now?
Gina Stevens, by the way, second in the league at the free throw line at 88.3. So they don't want to send her there in a clutch situation perhaps later in the game because it's tight so far. 5 seconds. Hughes allowed all the way in, and it goes. Oh, great timing.
Lovely left-hand drive there.
That's a real lifter for Perth, who find themselves up by 3 points at quarter time, and that is a lovely start for Perth, who are undermanned, of course, with no Melissa McClure here, and a smile on the face of Tali Bevilacqua as she looks at some stats here out of the first quarter, and I think Coach Murray Tressida won't be unhappy with what he sees.
Yes, well, I'm just really excited that the Perth Lynx have come out strongly and are showing they've got a lot of confidence. You can see that they're shooting at a great percentage, 44% compared to 35% for Townsville. I'm kind of expecting that's going to change though as the game progresses because, Townsville are a great shooting team and I'm sure they won't stay cold forever. Free throws, obviously both have been, very good, 2 from 2. a fairly even contest. Hopefully Perth can reduce the number of turnovers, though. They had 7 in that quarter, so I would like that to be down a little bit. But Perth dominating on the rebounds, and, you know, if they can continue that, they're getting close to their first win.
Refs are happy, underway in the second quarter. Interesting that Gina Stevens has been left out of the 5 for the moment, and she was absolutely cold in that first quarter, Tully.
Yes, it's very unusual for Gina to go scoreless, and, you know, maybe this little stint on the bench will relax her a little bit, and hopefully the coach is expecting her to come out fired up.
Spill from Ramsey presents Townsville with a chance to bring the ball up the floor. So some bench players starting the second quarter here. Heritage off to Porter and Datsun. I just think that they've got the class in their team, Townsville. You just can't keep Datsun, Stevens and Porter quiet all match. As Porter pulls up, shoots, and Ramsey.
That's right. I agree with you there. I just have this feeling that at some stage we're going to see the Townsville Fire break out with some, you know, three-point shooting. And, you know, as you say, Porter, Datsun, Stevens, the big three.
Daniel Ramsey. I'm really interested in what Murray Tresser has done here with Ramsey out there. And, well, Matthews was in the starting 5. But Suzanne Williams as well.
Well, Murray's been rotating the players a lot, especially these last couple of weeks. It's very warm in this stadium. So he's just trying to keep fresh legs out there all the time, make the travelling team have to run up to the floor a bit more than they'd like to. Suzanne
Williams might have copped one in the lip for a trouble, but it's the possession arrow after that dispute with Porter, who's got it now. Datsun swings it across to Heritage. Has drained a couple from out there, not this time. Hard off the iron. And it's Perth's chance to bring it up the floor with a 5-point lead, folks, against Townsville, who really need the win today on, what are they, 5 and 7.
That's right.
And as we come into this weekend, there are 3 teams on 9 wins.